Testing for the role of Thomas. Yes.
Thank you. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Oh.
Next.
I'm testing for the role of Thomas.
Sign here.
Great. When do I show up?
Don't call us. We'll call you.
Oh. Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin, and with me as always is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to? Eager ears want to know.
Not a lot. I have watched some media. I watched the Adam
Schlag and plug?
Yes.
Good.
Schlag and Star happened, and half of it was sort of
In
not
English?
very good, and the other half was okay.
Oh,
It was
an average episode?
a little below average, I'd say.
Right. Was that the opinion of the rest of the viewers?
This episode didn't rank.
Right. I'm
as
sorry.
far as I'm concerned. Which really made getting up for 6:15 a.m. in the morning really, really worth it.
Oh dear.
They spent
My liver bleeds custard for you.
They spent half an hour digging around in giant sand pits looking for boxes.
Good.
It was awful. You know what they gave them to begin with? They gave them a trowel. in these over a foot deep of sand.
What's a foot?
Over 30 centimetres deep of sand and meters wide.
Wow.
You found a box in one sand pit,
Yeah.
and that gave you...
A key to the next sand pit.
And then you stuck it up, you opened it with a key, and there was a bell, and you dinged the bell, and then immediately you would have to go on to the next sand pit. There were 3 of these sand pits, and it took forever.
Oh, sounds like the pits.
It was awful.
Well, so was that.
Yeah.
Mm.
The Adam Project was alright.
Oh, you watched it, did you?
I had a reasonable time with it.
I did too. It really shot me back to the 80s as a teen. It just had that feel of boy's own adventure type of deal with not taking itself too seriously, and that kid does an absolutely stunning Ryan Reynolds impersonation. Just nailed it completely.
This was very much a Ryan Reynolds film, and if you like Ryan Reynolds films, this is one of them.
Ryan Reynolds film.
I
I went into it not knowing anything about it and not having any expectations, and just had a great deal of fun with it. You sound like you didn't quite have so much fun.
It was alright. It was worthwhile.
Complete popcorn movie, but yeah.
Also, a Ryan Reynolds film is Red Notice, which was also alright.
I haven't got to that.
No.
Brianna has seen that.
Inexplicably, it's getting 2 sequels, so...
Why not? That was a Netflix as well,
yes,
wasn't it?
that was also a Netflix original.
Well, that probably explains why.
And Turning Red,
Oh,
I saw. And it's good.
Yeah, we'll
It's
probably
good.
watch that as the Friday family movie on Friday night.
It's good. I think the family will largely enjoy it.
Good. No spoilers.
It's a Pixar film.
Oh, Thomas, thanks. Anything else?
No, just sort of bemoaning that Disney have been shoving Pixar films onto Disney Plus instead of giving them full cinema releases when they've been doing it with everything else.
It is a bit rude.
And also the ongoing strife at Disney over the sudden arrival of several quote-unquote don't say gay bills.
Yes.
That Disney have not handled particularly
not very well at all.
And
No.
Pixar aren't happy with Disney
No.
over not handling it very well.
No.
So, yeah.
Me?
Yes.
I did the old blood run again. I had a weird thing happen today. An LED light stopped working. Light bulb, which I don't think in the history of us using LED light bulbs has ever happened before.
Those two little spots, I think, have been there for longer than we've been in this house.
Oh, I think I actually replaced those ones to match each other.
Right.
Because they were both two different ones and I replaced them with. So there has been replacement of LED lights, like some of the internal LED lights have been changed to dimmable ones, but yeah. So it was a weird occurrence. And for the rest of the morning, all I could hear was kids, because it was in the toilet, the bathroom, in the room that the water closet is in. So, yes, a regular occurrence because there is only one water closet in the house. You hear someone trying to flick the light on and, I mean, it wasn't dark anyway. So that happened. So I had to deal with electrics this week and furthermore decided to get a couple of washers for the shower that's been dripping and inexplicably have not been able to work out how to remove the tap handles off the taps. And called the landlord and he couldn't remember, but insisted on coming over to discover the same thing that I discovered, is that there's no visible way of doing it. It was suggested that we just try pulling them off, but I didn't want to force it.
No.
Kaboom tish.
Yeah, I got there eventually.
Good.
It wasn't a very good joke.
Oh, look, it was brilliant. It really was brilliant. So, yeah, that's been my events of the week. Although for the lights, I went for a walk because we have a hardware store that's... How far away do you reckon? About 1 kilometre?
Yeah.
And with petrol prices the way they are, there's no way that we're going to hop in the car to get a light bulb. So I walked down there and, of course, didn't take the old one with me. I knew what wattage that I was after, but it's under this cover, and I had a couple of spare bulbs, but all of them were too high for the cover to go over. So I looked at the shelf and said, yeah, I think that'll fit under, and luckily it did. So, really thrilling, eventful week.
Yeah.
So, let's just move on, and we have a movie to watch.
We do have a film.
Which film are we watching this week?
We are watching the Academy Award-winning Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
What did it win an Academy Award for?
Original Screenplay.
Right.
In 2004 for Charlie Kaufman.
Would you be so kind as to tell our dear listener the plot synopsis of this film? Oh, you've got me saying film now, and it feels silly.
I didn't do that to you.
This movie.
You did that to
this
you.
This motion picture. This cinematic production.
Our feature presentation. Joel is stunned to discover that his girlfriend Clementine has had their tumultuous relationship erased from her mind. Out of desperation, he contacts the inventor of the process, Dr. Howard Mizuak, to get the same treatment. But as his memories of Clementine begin to fade, Joel suddenly realizes how much he still loves her.
That's what we're watching today. Thomas is going to take it out of its case because it's not freely streaming on any of the services that we are currently subscribed to.
The case really, really wants you to know that it's Academy Award winning.
Oh, look, they had a whole big series of it. If it received the Academy Award for Best End Credits Scene, it would be put in that packaging. Speaking of Academy Awards, that award would not be shown in the current format that they're proposing.
No, it probably wouldn't, no.
Because it's all about making an entertaining TV show rather than actually giving awards to people who have received the awards.
Yeah, all award shows are like that. The Game Awards, a video game awards show broadcast at the end of the year every year, has been derisively called the Game Advertisements.
Yeah.
Because it is largely advertisements with occasional awards. Someone will come up to collect an award, and as they're doing so, a voiceover will say, oh, they've also won this other award that we're not going to show off separately.
But I mean, the Oscars have become worse and worse at removing things. But this year, the amount of awards that I certainly consider extremely, extrememely in your face, this needs to be recognised type of thing has been wiped or pre-recorded or,
Are there any shorts left in the show?
I don't. Anyway,
Yeah.
Let's watch this film.
Let's do it.
Open that case again, put the disc into the disc player so that we can watch it and come back and talk about it so that we can catch you on the flip side.
Turn to side B.
I can't remember what I say next.
Turn to side B's.
Can't remember what I say next. I have no memory. It has been wiped, erased by some mongrel. Oh, hang on, that sounds familiar.
Nah.
So, what did you think?
That is a strange film.
Oh, I spent most of it absolutely terrified about what you'd think.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Good.
It's a very
Excellent.
strange film.
Oh, I can breathe a sigh of relief because not only was I terrified of what you would think, but I was also constantly questioning, I like this film, but I shouldn't. It's but that shouldn'tness was more a reflection on what you were going to think. So I shall now breathe a sigh of relief. Do go on.
First of all, just going to jump right in and say there is some absolutely excellent effects work all the way through this film. We have things disappearing, we have things ending up in places that they weren't a moment before. We have Jim Carrey walking through a door to exit a bookstore and ending up in a friend's house, possibly?
Yes. You have that same bookstore, a conversation happening, and the covers are slowly turning into white, so that eventually the whole bookstore is filled with books with just white covers. And you say absolutely brilliant special effects, and you're conscious of that all the way through that. Wow, wow, wow. But the credits start rolling, and then you start seeing mentions of effects people, and you're thinking, that was a love story. Where were the special effects? And then it all comes flooding back, which is quite apt for a movie where there's a suppression of memories being the pivotal focus of this story. The other thing, whilst we're stream of consciousnessing, and I'm focusing on those credits, can you remember watching a film with such a short set of credits?
That was not a long set of credits, no.
No, it was one song's worth. It was very much I do not know the background as far as whether this was indie produced or what, but it just... The credits were very indie-esque in their shortness, and the whole production style of it was very indie. Very brief run on the old credits. And the opening credits were very minimalistic, but very smart in that names would pop up and then not fade away, but sort of dissolve away. If that's as if it's been erased. Crumbled, yeah. And there's plenty of crumbling going on in this bizarre, crazy, weird, brilliant, dare I say, film.
And there's false perspective in there. Some solid false perspective.
Yep.
Good stuff.
I shall stop gushing briefly and you can collect your thoughts and throw some more things out there if you...
Let's talk about ethics in science.
Good.
So, if you have a relationship with someone and you are the boss of a company that can erase people's memories,
Yeah.
don't. First of all, don't. That's a massive conflict of interest that you're presenting there. Second of all, if you have a company that can erase people's memories of things, don't. That's a whole quagmire.
Oh, dear. And that whole lack of ethics continues in the methodology of doing it and the professionalism or lack thereof in which it is performed.
They make a mess of his apartment.
They make a mess of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because they're messes themselves.
Yeah.
It is in no way, shape or form a professional company on so many different levels. But it provided just so many twists and just black, dark black comedy. Sad. Tragicomedy. It is a tragedy as well on so many different levels.
And Elijah Wood's character with the identity theft.
Yeah. Yep. I can understand why it won the Academy Award for screenplay.
Original screenplay.
Yeah, because it's smart and tight and... Sorry, again, I'm gushing. It is not a perfect film.
No.
But it's a great film, I think.
Once I did look at the excellent special effects, you start to notice seams.
Yeah. I am curious to know what the budget was.
20 million, and it made 74.
Okay, that's tight. They got their money's worth, especially considering when it was made. It was 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Jim Carrey is ideal for that role in the way that he performed it.
Mm-hmm.
He was not Jim Carrey in this, except for the moments where it sort of snuck out almost, but it was completely responsibly restrained. You really saw his teeth, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost out of notes. Because you really need to immerse yourself in it. And not blink. I found it difficult to grab the phone to write notes because the dialogue was smart, the visual things, the little things that are so worth noticing. But I did note at the beginning in his sort of soliloquy at the beginning where he's talking about various things that he's noticing, and he says, "Sand is overrated. It is just tiny little rocks."
It is.
Yep.
That's what it is. Tiny silicon rocks.
I don't know why that sprung out. Maybe it's to do with Anakin's opinion. Sand.
Is sand overrated?
I think sand is overrated. I do not mind walking along a beach at the point where the waves wash up with bare feet and letting the sand go between the toes, as long as the waves are also washing it back away. But then to get from that point back to the car, and putting shoes back. Yeah.
It's probably summer, that sand's hot.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sand. We digress.
Yeah, we do.
Do you have anything else?
It took me a little bit to work out what was going on with that opening.
Yeah.
Took me until maybe a third of the way through the film until I realised, oh, okay. Yep, now...
It is certainly in no way in chronological order. Ever.
No. Even when it's going in reverse, it's not fully in reverse.
No. And a lot of those reversed chronologies are false chronologies anyway. It's messy. It really is a messy film. And that does take some getting used to the fact. And once you accept the fact that nothing's in order, and yet once you get into that, it then starts to come together really, really well. But it also allows for constant surprises. The wife of the, in quotes, doctor, you don't see that coming. So many things that you just do not see coming.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Good.
Nope. I'm good.
Good. For an absolute filled with tragedy story, it does end warmly. There is still that full expectation of, in 6 months' time, it's all doomed to failure again. But at least they've got a positive feeling of the future.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we might, on that note, move on.
The following segment is a dog. Do not pet the dog. Yeah, you came up with so many opportunities for interaction, and then...
Yeah, can you bring up our top contender for those competitions, please?
I'll have to check. I'm pretty sure nothing came through on Discord. It would be irresponsible of me not to remind myself if there had been anything. There is some stuff here that I hadn't sent over to you, but...
Is that right?
But it's unrelated to any of the opportunities for interaction that you came up with.
That's all right. Any crumbs that are thrown our way, I say before I hear what the crumbs are.
Regular writer in Entuosferatu.
Hi, Entuosferatu.
Talking about reality TV, and there are more kinds of reality TV than competitions out there.
Yes.
We focused almost exclusively on competitive reality TV during our
Yeah, that is true.
our talks last week.
Yeah.
Entuosferatu's experience was more weighted towards the then pre-ghost hunting / conspiracy theory Discovery Channel.
Oh, sorry, I laughed. And now I'm hoping that Entuosferatu is making such references in not a fanboy kind of way.
No.
Good. Good.
His reality TV was Scrapyard Challenge and Junkyard Wars.
Yay. And
Good
sorry,
stuff.
what was the second one?
Junkyard Wars, which is the same thing, but American.
Oh, now I'm sort of nostalgic and craving for those. I just love those.
The whole Discovery Network oeuvre has crumbled into such poor...
Absolutely. And National Geographic has also, in a lot of ways, gone that way too.
Now under the Disney behemoth. I noted that I had, in my wanderings into the lounge room while Mum's watching HGTV or something, see a bunch of ads for shows on the so-called Travel Channel, and every single one of them has been conspiracy related.
Oh dear. What a crazy world we are in.
And continues by bringing up a film that he hasn't watched and that I'm pretty sure neither of us have either, called Ed TV.
No.
Which was a Ron Howard film and didn't do particularly well.
Right, no. Doesn't ring any bells at all.
I quoted Wikipedia's article on the Travel Channel. Programming has included shows on African animal safaris, tours of grand hotels and resorts, visits to significant cities and towns around the world, programming about various foods around the world, and programming about ghosts and the paranormal in notable buildings.
That was well worth bringing up. Thank you, Entuosferatu, for raising that. The competition is still open to anybody who wishes to enter. You'll probably need to listen to the previous episode to know what their competition is. All right, then. We'll move on, then.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I feel like last week...
And I've caught you completely off guard.
I feel like last week I might have had some idea of what I wanted to do.
You specifically mentioned there's definitely something we will do next week.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
But having forgotten whatever it was I had in mind, I'm just going to shake this iPad that I have in front of me, and it'll give me some sort of idea. That's a choice, I guess.
Good.
Do I want to do that now?
I don't know.
Sure. Sure, let's do that now.
You've got me nervous now.
Okay.
What are you going to inflict upon us next week?
This film is from 2012. And...
It's 2012, isn't it?
It's not 2012. It is not the film 2012. Although we should do that at some point.
Should we?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it on either of our lists?
I can't remember. No. It stars Emma Stone.
Right.
And Martin Sheen.
Right.
And I'm specifically not mentioning the male lead at the moment.
No, you're sort of skirting around. But I still think that I should be able to identify it.
It was produced by Sony.
You really are skirting.
Well, it's more helpful than you think.
Okay, I'll believe you.
It's a second attempt at a first film.
What?
Which would later be followed up by a third attempt at a first film, some years later.
Thomas, how about you read the plot synopsis? Because I feel like we're suddenly trapped inside the eternal sunshine of Spotless mind here.
It also stars Andrew Garfield.
Right, so we're going Spider-Man, are we?
We are going Spider-Man, yes.
Right, but it's Amazing Spider-Man.
It is the Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
Not the numbered Spider-Man.
No.
Not the Home trilogy.
Right.
The Amazing Spider-Man. Anyway, the synopsis. After finally getting there,
Da, da, da. Da, da, da.
Teenage social outcast Peter spends his days trying to unravel the mystery of his own past and win the heart of his high school crush, Gwen Stacy. A mysterious briefcase belonging to his father, who abandoned him when he was a child, leads Peter to his dad's former partner, Dr. Connors. The discovery of his father's secret will ultimately shape his destiny of becoming Spider-Man, and bring him face to face with Connor's villainous alter ego, the Lizard.
It's the Amazing Spider-Man, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Very, very creative villain name, the Lizard.
The Lizard.
I have not watched any of the Amazing Spider-Man films.
Oh, really?
No, I've not.
Oh, well, this will be interesting.
Will.
You have seen...
I have seen 2 of the numbered films and not the third, but I know how the third goes. And I've seen the entirety of the Home trilogy.
Right, yes. You're one up on me with that. All right, then. Amazing Spider-Man. Next week.
Mm-hmm.
Same bat time. Same bat... hang on.
That's DC. You're
Sorry.
thinking of DC.
Okay,
That's Warner Brothers.
We really do hope that someone will join us when we watch The Amazing Spider-Man. But until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us, in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
G'day, dear listener.
Joel is stunned to discover that his girlfriend, Clementine, has had their tumultuous relationship?
Relationship.
Relationship.
Yeah. Relationship.
Rationship?
Yes, not a Russian ship.
Their tumultuous need to keep food usage down. I'm just going to start again.
Okay.
Joel is stunned to discover that his girlfriend Clementine has had their tumultuous relationship.
I'm glad you came in again.
Tumultuous relationship.
Shall he come in again?
Joel is stunned to discover that his girlfriend Clementine has had their tumultuous relationship erased from her mind. Out of desperation, he contacts the inventor of the process, Dr. Howard Mizuak. Mizuak.
Elijah Wood?
Canoe.
No, is that Elijah Wood? I can't remember. You come in again.
No, I won't. I'm just going to continue to get the same treatment. But as his memories of Clementine begin to fade, Joel suddenly realizes how much he still loves her. No, Elijah Wood is one of the other actors in the film who have not been given a named character in the synopsis so far.
Okay. That's what we're watching today.